Dominant performance by Brandon. When he shoots the ball like that, and he's capable of doing that night in and night out, it puts the game away, and that's what he did. And then just the total effort from our group, from the start of the game, was a wire to wire, business-like mindset, knowing that we get ready to go on a tough road trip. So, credit to the guys in the locker room for coming out and playing hard, playing together, playing with joy. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, no, one thing you always talk about is if you go on a long road trip, the first one at home can be tough. I mean, what'd you like about just your response after 4 on the road?
I loved it. It's that time of year. You pass halfway point. You kind of glancing at the standings here and there, but the thing for us is to focus on each and every game, and tonight was no different. Coming off a road trip, it could be a letdown game, but we didn't let that happen. We came out with the right mindset from the beginning, and we dominated the game from the start.
And what was it like just seeing just how he went about getting this 40 just all jumpers and barely anything and just putting on the shot making display?
Well, we've been on our guys to shoot more threes, and BI especially, and so he has it in him. And tonight he sees what happens when he shoots the shots that are open, catch and shoot, and he just caught it. He just caught fire, and the guys continue to find him in transition, find him off pin downs, and any one of our guys, when they shoot the ball like that, it's going to be tough to stop us.
And I'm not sure what the final number was, but I think through 3 quarters there was only 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
What did you like about just the way y'all execute, even beyond just shooting and making threes?
Impressive. And you talk about BI, 8 for 11 from 3, 41 points, but he also had 9 assists. And so not only was he scoring, but he was making the right plays offensively, finding his teammates. And it's a reason we had 36 assists and 7 turnovers collectively as a team. Trying to take care of the basketball is one of our concepts, but then making sure we share it. And tonight was a great example of that.
Well, it could be easy to look past the Raptors. They've been falling out of the standings. They clear away some of the better players. Could you go and talk maybe more about the preparation that Brandon takes, for every game, and especially like for tonight's game? I saw him working with JB, watched video of him for 10 minutes, and he put up shots with Fred, 3-point shots.
Brandon is meticulous about his work. And, behind the scenes, when people don't see him, he's working. He's coming back at night, getting free throws in, shooting shots, working on his game. In practice, he's one of the first on the floor, one of the last to leave. He's in the weight room. He does all the things that you want your players to do in order to give themselves a chance to be successful. And when you see these performances by any of our guys, but BI especially, it's rewarding. It's rewarding, I'm sure, for him. It's rewarding for us as an organization and for his teammates to see it as well.
I know you guys had an offensive explosion, but tonight your defense was really good, especially early. You can tell there was a lot of rotations. Zion ends up with a block. I think that was a huge possession there. Can you talk about the effort you guys kind of put forth tonight from the defensive end?
Yes, it starts with our defensive mindset, and that allows our offense to flourish. It's when we're defending, and we're continuously working on it, working on ways that we can get stops, get rebounds. And when we play in the open floor like we did tonight, we're a hard team to stop. So our offense is definitely predicated on our ability to get stops. And this is a team that we know they score in transition, they get in the paint, they offensive rebound, and I thought we did a great job on all those categories tonight.
CJ had 20, Zion had 16. Yeah. For your stars to lead the way, how important was that, especially knowing just how much they had gone through the night before with the double overtime loss?
Yeah, it's important for those 3 to carry our team on both ends of the floor. And our second unit and substitution guys, they all come in and they play hard. They're going to play together. They're going to be a great supporting cast, but those 3 guys are going to carry us. And tonight, and even go back to the Spurs game, they all played well, and that's what we want. We want those guys to continuously play unselfish, share the basketball, lock in defensively, rebound, and we'll give ourselves a chance to be a good team.
Now going back on the road for 4 more, what's the most important thing on this road trip?
Continue to lock in on our principles and take it game by game. And that's the mindset for us. We know we got four games on the road, but it's really a cliche, but take it game by game and let's have a business-like approach to it.
Tonight was 50th game of the season. I mean, how much of the Pelicans' success so far this year has just been Brandon, CJ, and Zion availability from those guys and just being out there, night after night this year?
Health is extremely important, and that's for any team that's in life. Whatever you do, you want to be healthy. And a credit to our training staff and medical staff. They're doing a fantastic job, and then all of our guys doing all the extra things that it take to be available to play on the floor. And that combination allows us to have an opportunity. And things can happen, and you can't control everything, but the things that we can control, it feels like we're doing a great job in that area.
I know you just said that you've been preaching taking more threes, but preaching is kind of like a leap of faith, so to say. You believe in it, and you want your players to believe in it, but nights like tonight, does it make it more tangible for somebody like Brandon to say it's not a leap of faith, it's real, and you can do it, and you should do it?
For sure. It's definitely not just a leap of faith. There's analytics that go behind it, and there's film work that we put in, and then there's work that we get on the floor, and we work towards how do we generate these type of shots for our team. And so all of those combinations, and then you win like you did tonight, allows our guys to see why we want to take 40, 38, 43s a game, because we shoot a good percentage, and we have guys that are capable of making those shots. It's hard to beat us when we are.
I think the more surprising fact isn't just that he made 8 threes, but he took 11 3-point shots. You take into account his shot attempts and the emphasis on the team making all these 3-point shot attempts. How much of this is just seeing the Jim Borrego system really take its fruition at this point in the season?
It's a combination for sure. Coach Borrego has done a fantastic job of, giving our offense some clarity and looking at some of the numbers. What do we do well? We want to continuously to do those things well. And this was an area of growth for us, a team that, the last couple of seasons we dominated the paint. We got to the free throw line. We got out in transition, but now we're adding the 3-ball to our group, and it's a credit to our players for trusting and continuously to buy in.
So the guys have been playing really great against some of the more manageable teams, to say, but they've been having a much tougher time against some of these top teams. What do you think this team can do to kind of break that barrier and start winning against these top teams as we're getting later in the season?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We've talked about it as a team. We thought about our, not to be negative, but our last 5 losses were all against playoff caliber teams, and that's an area of growth where we're talking about it. We have to bring the competitive spirit, and our room for error is less when you play against the better teams, and this road trip will be a good test the first couple games at least. Okay, thank you.
All right. For all things Pelicans, now tuned into the Pelican Postgame Report. Much love to the flock. Appreciate y'all for being in the stream. Much love to the fam. This was a good one. Pelicans run over the Raptors 138-100, getting their 29th win of the season, 3rd straight win in a row. BI went off. 41 points from BI in the matchup. Man, he was awesome. 8 3-pointers. I think he hit like 5 in a row. He was just unbelievably hot. Took it to the Raptors, man, and the Pelicans looked really good in a blowout win over these Toronto people, man. They just wasn't ready for what the Pelicans had, man, as they get ready to go back on the road. So shout out to the fam. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and by all means, feel free to share. Share the show on your social media feed. We up in this thing. Shout out to the fam. I'm Big Q. We got DC and Lex in the stream tonight, fam. Pelicans were fantastic, especially BI, man. Tonight they had all of the energy, the effort from start to finish. The Pelicans were there. I mean, just to go over to just quickly to hit some of the team statistics, Pelicans shot 51% from the field tonight, 42% from downtown, 19 3-pointers. They were perfect from the foul line, 13 of 13. They had 51 rebounds, 36 assists, 11 steals. They only had 7 turnovers tonight. 7. And it was just magnificent, and all led by BI's 41 points, 8 3-pointers on the night. He was fantastic, man. What can I say? So with that being said, shout out to you guys. Appreciate you being here. Let's bring in the family members, DC, Lex. Let's hear from you guys, man. What a fantastic performance by our Pelicans tonight. Let's hear from you guys. We'll start with you, DC.
Man, I mean, definitely supposed to beat the Toronto Raptors, but in the way they did it is, you just got to be impressed by that, man. At one point during the game, I'm looking, I said, damn, Willie ain't take the starters out. Oh, wait, this is the second unit. They out there having fun, doing and one moves and the whole nine, man. The Pels dominated top to bottom. Zion actually played very well too. Got to get an early rest. So did Bi, even though he managed to get 41 points in only 3 quarters. It was an awesome night, man. But it was a phenomenal performance, from him, as well as CJ McCullough. He was real hot from 3 too. So it's just one of them nights, man, where all 3 of your top guys just had it going, man. And then, all the role players came in and they played huge as well, man. It wasn't nothing you could do with the Pels tonight, man. This is a bad matchup for Toronto. No answer for Zion, which led to them, trying to play off BI a little bit. He got it going. Then you got CJ going. Like, what do you do? What do you do? They can't really stop any of our guys. And they didn't really have a lot of offensive punch either. Their main thing is basically to score on fast breaks, and we shut that down, forced turnovers, and scored a bunch of points off of turnovers on them. So really put them at a disadvantage, man. But great game for the Pels, man. They extend our winning streak to 3, and hopefully we can keep it going. And we got a real tough matchup coming up in LA against the Clippers, man. They've been playing awesome. So this will be another test for the Pels, man. But they starting off on the right foot, winning the games they should win, and winning them in, very impressive fashion.
Yeah, DC indeed, man. I was loving this game, start to finish, man. It was, and like you said, bro, it is the Toronto Raptors, but hey, you got to beat these teams, man. When you have these teams that step up on the schedule, you smack them down as hard as you can and keep it moving as we gear up for a really tough matchup against a very hot Clipper team. So the Clippers are very hot, 9-1 over the last 10 games. Pelicans going up there.
Kawhi's playing out of his mind, Q.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
He's looking like Spurs Kawhi right now, man. It's crazy.
I know, man, and that's what makes it so intriguing, that matchup coming up on I think it's Wednesday. Lex, welcome on in the stream. Let's hear from you. What do you think about tonight's win, smacking down the Raptors? I know a lot of people say Q was supposed to get this dub, but like DC alluded to, this is how you handle these type of clubs. What you think?
Well, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing?
All good.
We missed you on the last one. You know what I'm saying? But B.I. had a heck of a night. Had a heck of a night. Kudos to him. He had it going. Much like I think he had another game where he hit like 6 threes or something like that, 6 or 7 threes in another game. But this kind of reminded me of that game. But I mean, the Raptors, again, you're supposed to beat this team. They lost to OKC on last night, double overtime. So their legs were pretty shot. I mean, everybody played a lot of minutes. So the Pels came in with the right mindset, definitely with the right mentality, and they stuck it to them from the jump. They stuck it to them, and they kept their foot on the gas. I mean, they didn't have a chance. So we really took advantage of that because, I mean, obviously, no, it wasn't a fresh team, but still, you still have to come in with the right mentality and get the wins that you're supposed to get. So I think really, I mean, just the way that the ball was moving, the players were moving. I actually saw Brandon and Zion playing off of each other
Mm-hmm.
on tonight. I think this is kind of like probably like 3 out of the whole season, maybe 4, where they've really played off
After
each other.
practice, Lex,
Huh?
working on that. They stayed late after practice together, working on that.
Yeah, but they got to continue to do it though. You know what I'm saying? Because like it hasn't been consistent as far as in games. So I mean, I was glad to see it a lot on today, but again, we got to have more. You know what I'm saying? I think it's been really apparent in about maybe like 3 or 4 games out of all the games played this season. But yeah, I mean, this was a great game. It was a great game. I mean, everybody contributed. Trey, um, I don't think because I know he's been struggling, but I was happy for him, so he could see the ball go in the basket because definitely need him to, get going to help, spread the floor more, in future games and against better teams. Um, you know, uh, yeah, the Raptors really they didn't have a chance. They didn't have any answer for the inside game. Obviously, it was just a good overall game. Everybody contributed, and like I said, Bi had a heck of a night.
Yeah, this was awesome, man. I enjoyed these. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is one of those no stress games, man, where everything just flows, and then you feel the energy and know that, man. When it was, I think in the second quarter of the game, I was like, man, this is going to be a blowout. You had it. You had the feeling that this was going to be a no stress, just blowout game, which is everything working for him. And it was working for him, especially BI, man. When he hit those 5 3-pointers in a row, the arena was lit. I know the fam was lit. And this is just one of those games that you enjoy. No heart attack game. It was a relaxing blowout win by the Pels against an inferior team. And this is what you're supposed to do, man, if you're trying to be a contender in this here league. All right, so anyway, let's go from this blowout win against this team to one of the hottest teams in the NBA right now, which is the Los Angeles Clippers. They're 34-15, 9-1 over the last 10 games, and currently on a 4-game winning streak.
Mm-hmm.
Now we know that this series is tied. The Pelicans got them in the first one, 116-106. Clippers returned the favor early in January. Now we're lined up on Wednesday. This is going to be a 9 p.m. Central Time game here, and our times are not. It's going to be a little late, but this is going to be a really interesting game. The Clippers are 19-4 at home, and let's see how we can do this. So start with you, Lex. Let's talk about this game. This is going to be a real good one here. Pelicans and Clippers, what needs to happen?
I'm gonna add to that. They are 26 of they've won 26 out of their last 31 games since I think December 5th or something. Like they have really been on a tear. They really have. They've found their stride. They've polished up their identity, and they know who they are. They know what they're trying to do, and really, it's like, I mean, they're playing like they are an all-star team, like literally, because they have a lot of stars on their team. Multiple MVP players were for regular season on their squad. So this game is not going to be easy. This really is not going to be easy. But definitely number one thing, gotta have energy. You gotta bring it from the jump. Definitely gotta try to slow them down. Especially Kawhi. But obviously you got 2 other guys that can really put up numbers, even if you're covering other guys well. This is going, as far as defense, it's going to be a team effort. It's going to be a team effort. Can't make a lot of mistakes. Cannot make a lot of mistakes. I mean, this is one of those games where obviously the Pels have been doing well as far as controlling the turnovers, but everything is going to count. This game is going to be very important because the Clippers are actually like right there. We're in cahoots with them, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah. So this game is very important. I wouldn't be surprised if this had a playoff type atmosphere to it, because that's how serious this game is right now. Really got to be locked in. Really got to be locked in mentally. Hopefully the game plan. I don't know how they're gonna set up the game plan, but again, they are gonna be vulnerable down low. I think we definitely have to be on the attack mode, but we also know that they can get hot like collectively from behind the arc. And that's basically what happened the last time, because they can put the ball up. I mean, you're talking about, what Brandon did on tonight, hitting what, eight threes. I mean, now multiply that by 3. You know what I'm saying? That's how many guys they have that can do just that. So we definitely have to guard the 3, push them off the off the line and make them drive, but be ready to double, rotate. Have that timing right as far as rotating and collapsing. You like when someone's coming into the lane. There's a lot of things we got to watch out for, man. I mean, really everything. Our shot has to be falling. We cannot have one of those games where the ball is not dropping for us. So that is very key, because we know that that's happened to this team before. That ball's got to fall. It's got to fall for us. And then we just have to play some stellar defense and really got to have a little bit of luck. I hope the ball doesn't fall for them too much. So I think those are the keys to the game. But this is going to be a very competitive game. Playoff atmosphere for sure.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, we're actually a few games back of the Clippers, though. We they 34-15. We 29-21, so still pretty close. 1 through 4 is a gridlock with everybody. The Clippers right there at 3. 35 wins, 34, 35. They looking at this game, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna be looking to not kid this one up, man. Especially they're probably gonna feel confident after what they were able to do to us last time they played. But Kawhi Leonard obviously is the guy right now. He's on a tear with the Clippers. Just playing awesome, man. One of the most efficient players in the league. Hits tough shots, hits them at a high rate. Their version of Brandon Ingram. He got that little mid-range game too, working that old school MJ game, and will light you up from 3. And he's actually playing like Kawhi in spurts still defensively as well. So you got that added dynamic to what he does. This is the guy right here, man. You got to find a way to slow him down. They do have James Harden. You got Paul George, and for the love of God, please do not leave Norman Powell open in the corner anymore. I'm still having nightmares about that. We just kept leaving him open in the corner, man. He just kept hitting shots. You got Zubac, who might be out, so maybe we have an opportunity for Big V to get going. I think he's always somewhat of a wild card for us, because you have certain teams where you can really utilize Big V, and he can be a very game-changing factor if he can get it going. But the way Zion is playing right now, too, last time we played the Clippers, I don't think Zion had the confidence and just the rhythm that he's in right now, man. Looking at him tonight, he looked like he's just about back. You know, the 88 to 91% or whatever, he looks like he's about 100%. He didn't slimmed up a little bit. I see more of that explosiveness. Obviously it's matchup dependent because Pirtle couldn't do nothing with him. But it's just like Zion can get wherever he wants on the court right now. And you got BI. Hopefully this isn't a mirage with what I saw tonight. You know, you had the whole trade BI talk because he would never shoot threes around Zion. You know, people always been saying that for years, but I mean, he put up 10 of them, hit 8 tonight, and 41 in 3/4. I don't think he's just gonna cool off going to LA, another place where he's comfortable. You know, played all his beginning of his career with LA there. So if BI can keep playing the way he is, and CJ also, it's a tough matchup for us, but just as much as we have to be, I guess, aware of their big three, because you know James Harden could get it going, Paul George could get it going, Kawhi can get it cooking. I think the same goes for us. So the Pels, the way they played tonight, even though it was the Toronto Raptors, I understand that. But when the Pels play the way that they played tonight, turning defense to offense, getting turnovers, getting a lot of points off of turnovers, passing the ball around, taking your open shots, not overthinking it, actually having intensity, energy, effort defensively, not messing up their rotations. Didn't see no back cuts or nothing tonight. Lower quality opponent, but the same principles still apply. When the Pels play team ball, man, and they do the simple things, we got all the flashy stuff. So a lot of times with us, we get away from what works. We go into playing hero ball, overthinking things, jacking up shots without, you know, our key guys really touching the ball. You didn't see any of that tonight. So they gotta play with the C word, right, Lex? You gotta have some
Oh yeah.
consistency. Maybe they
And,
heard you.
and
You know,
well, I mean, it's still gotta, because the thing is, you know, the teams, because we just went on the road, played some really good teams, and we saw the differences in those games. We got back in the win column, and you know, we gotta close that gap. You know what I'm saying? Definitely gotta close that gap. But yeah, you know, we got 3 games in a row, but the true tests are coming. So it's
well,
like we gotta
after the
wait to
Clippers,
see.
I think we got let's see, we might have one more real tough game, and I think we get a little bit of a break. You know, it starts to lighten up. You know, so if the Pels, I think if they can beat the Clippers, man, we might be able to go on get a real winning streak going. The Lakers. So
Yeah, they
we
got
got the
Yeah,
Lakers
hey,
too.
I would love to at least have a 10 game winning streak. You
They
know,
they can do
I
it.
mean, I
You know,
think
I don't think they're gonna do it. I want them to do it, but I think they
yeah, I
can
want
do
them
it.
to too. You know what I'm saying? Because I'd like to get past. I'd like to get past 4 games. We've won 4 games in a row before. We've done that. I think either 2, maybe 3 times. We
Yeah.
haven't gone past that. So I would love for this team to like rack up wins, you know, past that number, like way past that number.
Well, I think they got a chance with you know, the Lakers, and then after that the Trailblazers. You got the Grizzlies on Fat Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? And you got back to back. Well, not really. You got a couple of days off in between that with the Wizards, Rockets, Heat, Bulls. When does the All Star break start, family? I think the Bulls is
I
probably
want to
the
say
last game
it's
before the
usually
All
the
Star break.
weekend of MJ's birthday, which is like the 16th, 17th, 18th. It may be off by like one of those days, but
Okay. Well, the
oh, you
Rockets
know
might
what?
be the last
Valentine's
game.
Day is on the 14th, which is a Wednesday. So it might be
it's
Yeah,
it
MJ
February
might
is on
be
the 18th.
that following weekend.
February the 18th, the All-Star game itself, but you know that falls on that weekend. It's listed as February the 18th.
Okay.
February, what is it? February the 17th is Valentine's Day, correct?
February 14th.
No, 14th. That's on a Wednesday.
Okay, shout out to DC. I know his movie coming out, so I just wanted to give him a plug. But yes, February.
I
But
don't find anything
Who
funny.
else, my man?
I didn't know I didn't know I had a comedy coming out. I don't find anything funny about it.
it's not a comedy, DC. It's a biopic, bro. You know, you did a really
Jama
The
good
man got shot. Have some respect.
bro. Listen, hold on here, bro. I have
At least he wasn't a
a bone to
deputy.
pick with you, brother, about what you did, bro. You was in that car with the kids, brother. I was kind of upset about what you was doing, bro, with the joint. And
Man, them kids seeing the shower posse around there shooting people up, man. They needed some relief.
DC crazy, man. All right,
Do
so
you realize in other countries,
the shower
them children
posse.
grow up a lot faster? We over here
Yes.
baby in our churn, man. Them grown
Oh,
men.
that's what we doing over here. They got
grown men in that car, man.
Yes, indeed. All right. Anyway, but yeah, February the 18th, Sunday, February 18th of 7 p.m. is the All-Star game itself. So, I mean, what we have, Lexxah talk about a 10-game winning streak. Pelicans have the Clippers on Wednesday, the Lakers, on Friday, and then they have Portland and then Memphis. So, I mean, I wouldn't bet on it, but it's possible. Pelicans can go through some of these games, man. And then, of course, on the 14th, we have the Wizards matchup. We got Wizards. The Pelicans come off the road with the 4 games, and then they match up with the Wizards. And then I think we go right into the
They probably gonna be a skeleton by the time we get them, man. They got all them people up there. They're trying to pull off any trade they could get over there at the Wizards.
Yeah.
The team might not even look the same by the time we
I
play.
think they offered somebody offered a couple of firsts for what his name? Tyus Jones.
The
And they
Lakers,
didn't even take
I
that.
think the Lakers.
I was
I
like,
think
okay,
they got the memo to not trade with the Lakers, man. I think they boycotting the Lakers again this year. I think they
Well, the
offered
thing is,
first and a second. I think that was
but that always happens. Like, obviously, when the trade deadline gets closer, you know, guys tend to play differently than they did, like, you know, when it wasn't creeping up on you. So, you know, I mean, you're gonna get that. I mean, it happens all the time. It happens every year. I mean, look at D'Angelo. So, like, if they don't if they decide if they decide not to trade him, you know, it's gonna be funny if he goes back to how he was playing.
His Lex goes back to what he.
Before, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause it's like they can't do nothing. I'm
Right.
here. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing happening now because everything is done. So I just think it's kind of funny because, you know, he's really came on and been doing his thing. But it's like, is that a trick? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, every year, man, it seems like the Lakers, man, they're trying to do something for the trade deadline. I remember what was that last year when they were able to get Vanderbilt and all these other.
Yeah, Beasley.
I'm like, these people. I was like, how were they able to get all of these
Oh,
players?
and they also got Rui too. They got Rui. They got him way before the trade deadline. They got him like early January.
They did all that and still couldn't do nothing, and they still need more help.
They're 22 and 25. DC, they're on a 3-game winning streak, brother. Don't.
Is the most goddamn needy team I ever seen in my life.
I guarantee you, DC, when the playoffs start, guess who's going to be sitting up in there? It's definitely going to be LeBron, and you know how it go, bro. You know how it goes. The Lakers.
Well, LeBron wearing New York Knicks towels around his neck, man. I don't think he's too happy right now with what's going on over there. He trying to take his talents and Bronny somewhere else. Or at least he threatening them to do so, to get them to do what he wants.
That guy there, man.
I'm not gonna miss this about LeBron when he.
I'm serious, bro. That dude's there, man. That dude, man.
Sick of the drama every goddamn trade deal.
Speaking of that, let's touch on this. Lexxah, we was communicating about this Mikal Bridges trade speculation. You know, it was an article from Bleacher Report that came out that was talking about this, and let's talk about this, fam. Mikal Bridges trade rumors. Pelicans known to have made serious offer to the Nets. Now I don't know. I'm not sure, but let's cover it just for the hell.
The offer.
Right. Let's go for
Okay.
what was the
See?
offer? Pelicans reportedly known to have made a serious offer for Brooklyn Nets forward Mikal Bridges, according to Action Network's Matt Moore. He says the Nets received offers of 5 first-round picks for Bridges, but the Pelicans were, quote, likewise rebuffed, end quote. Moore noted that he's skeptical of the claims that the Pelicans offered such a high price for Bridges. Quote, 2 league sources said the Nets have claimed multiple offers of 5 first rounders for Bridges, but pretty skeptical on that front, end quote. And then they said it might have been 5 firsts with swaps or heavily protected picks, right? And if the offer was really 5 firsts, why share that and then continue to say that they're not interested in trading them?
You know what that sound like, you?
Go ahead.
That sound like a woman saying, "I can marry any man I want," and she's still single.
That's what it sounds like to you,
That's what
bro.
it sound like, bro.
Yeah, that was different.
I'm saying DC.
You know, there's a female up in here, right? I mean, you couldn't.
All right, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this,
quiet
Ole.
on that one, man.
Let me ask you this, Ole.
Oh Lord.
Let me ask you this.
Well, wait, why it got to be a relationship type stuff?
Well, I mean, it's an analogy.
DC fired that one from left field, man. DC, that's
it's
I
an
mean, why
analogy.
don't you make it about hamburgers or something? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not hungry.
Or chitlins.
DC trade some guitars or something, bro. Talk about the guitars you was going
Hey,
to give
man,
away.
I'm just saying.
Do that, brother.
I'm just saying they talking all that, but ain't nothing happening. So you could get all these picks, but you're not gonna trade them. That don't make no sense, man.
Well, this is the thing. Now, Bridges averages almost 22, might as well say 22 points a game and almost 4 assists per contest, right? And they're saying that the Pelicans rumored offered multiple picks for him, but, they said the Athletics, a couple of people, including Shams, said that Houston Rockets also offered Brooklyn a handful of first-round picks for Bridges, but the Nets have zero interest in dealing him. Now, it's not clear at this point whether Bridges will be on the move before that deadline, but the 27-year-old will be looking to keep up his production for the rest of the season. Now, me personally, y'all give y'all takes on this one here. At the end of the game,
you heard my take. Y'all start trying to shut it down.
no, nobody's shutting you down.
My analogy,
bro. You just fired from left field on that one. But listen,
man, that's what it sounds like to me.
So listen, all I'm saying about this is when they were interviewing CJ McCollum at the end of the game, and he talked about, he made mention of the trade deadline. He didn't say any names, but he said with the trade deadline coming up, you want to make sure you enjoy your teammates, this type of stuff, all this. So he does understand that there's going to be some movement because the Pelicans have to do something with Valanciunas. Fam, we're days from it. We're like 3 days from from the deadline. Right. So, I mean, we haven't heard anything about them sitting down at the table and working something out from a contract standpoint. It's almost a certainty. We're looking at.
Did we hear with CJ McCullough?
I'm sorry?
Did we hear anything when we got CJ McCullough?
There was some rumblings going on.
There was just hypothetical trades out there from what I remember, just like how you hear any of this.
Because remember, it was between CJ McCollum and De'Aaron Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but all of it was hypothetical though. Like just like what we're seeing now, it wasn't no real like, oh, the Pelicans are seriously interested in CJ McCollum. It was all these like us with Jared Allen, and you hearing this guy.
It's always gonna be like that until
it was the same thing.
It
was the same thing.
But DC, I mean, you got to admit that this Valanciunas thing is a little bit more concrete.
No. I mean, that's been going on for years, and his contract is up. So
it's hard to say because I mean, the thing is, it's just like with the Scoot Henderson thing. There was so much energy and talk about that, but nothing happened, and it seems like that's been. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, as far as just the rumor, like it was a hot topic.
Yeah, it was. It didn't match up money wise, talent wise. It didn't make any sense.
We
wasn't logical at all.
we were covering that at the time. Remember, we were covering that when everybody was going to the left. We were saying, man, that's a bunch of bull, man. That is not going to happen. And you had all these other
proven guy for
and everybody was sounds like, man, that is absolutely stupid. Then you had ESPN doing it, but remember, I was pointing this out.
Yeah, Sham Sharania, he came out with that stuff.
It was, and I would say
I was actually shocked.
the real insiders, like the ones that's really respectable, the top notch ones, like an Adrian Wojnarowski, or I forgot the other guy's name, but the real ones at the top that really know.
Sham Sharania.
I mean, he been dry. He'll put out something that that'll be kind of faulty. But Wojnarowski, to me, his data, the stuff that he be doing, is
Yeah, he's more consistent. But I was surprised when Shams came out with that because I was like, dang man, that was really bad because he started that whole thing.
Yeah,
I'm like, why would you do that? Because I actually like you, dude.
Get up,
you know what I'm saying?
Get up on that
I
damn
was with him up until that point. I was like, oh, okay, well.
That dude was getting all type of FaceTime with McAfee when he was talking about that. Zion Williamson.
They're looking for the real Zion.
Yeah, all that. And I was like, dude, this is all BS. And I got on there and I started cooking ESPN. We started talking about that the real insiders are not saying anything. When you have these people like Stephen A. Smith and they up there just straight up lying about stuff. This is happening. He don't want to be in New Orleans. He's not going to sign a deal. And it's just no sources, no information, no nothing. I was like, this dude's a proven liar.
New Orleans shares every chance he gets.
Yeah, this dude's a proven liar, man. That's all he does is just lie to get views for ESPN for Zion Williamson. This is something like when the news cycles get slow, they start going at the Pelicans. And it's so very clear because they don't cover the Pelicans when the Pelicans kicking ass. But when the Pelicans, when they start having problems, Zion struggles here or there, here they come. It never fails. And like I was saying about, they started. Remember the guy DC that goes to Wendy's and eat? Remember what he said? He was sitting up there saying, well, he such as
Dave Thomas.
No, he might know Dave Thomas. He might.
Wendy.
Wait, what his name is, Lex?
I'm sorry. I was thinking about the.
She's figuring that Lex is the detective. She's figured it out.
Hey, my bad. Hey, I was like, no, look, you should have spelled that out. Wendy, W-I-N.
No, I said the guy that eats at Wendy's. That's what I was saying.
Okay, got you. Okay.
Right. But
I get what you're saying now. My bad.
He eat at a little more than Wendy's, bro.
Say, bro, that's all he eat is Wendy's,
I
bro.
think he eat more than that.
You got a gift card.
That's the appetizer.
Because he gone.
3 number ones. That's the appetizer, brother. But listen, all I'm saying is at the end of the day, they've been caught out there lying about the Pelicans a lot. The Scoot Henderson thing was complete just bullshit. Excuse my French. And we called that. I was like, man, this is just distasteful. This is just wretched. This is awful that they're just cooking up this stuff and doing all this. And then when it came, what happened? Not a damn thing. And everybody's saying, Q, y'all wrong. They're going to trade them. I'm like, for who? But when it passed, I was like, I told y'all, man, you got to look at how these people do. Like they'll get together, but watch the real insiders information. Like when you hear Stephen A. Smith stupid ass sit up there and talk about Zion doesn't want to be here, and he has Adrian Wojnarowski on the panel on the show, watch him. He doesn't say anything about that. He's not hearing any. He's not going, and he'll chime in if he hears something. He ain't hear anything. The real insiders are quiet when them other dudes is up there talking about rumor reveal this and rumor reveal that. And I remember the guy from Wendy's he gave a disclaimer on this stuff. We recorded all that for the show. So like I said, man, we know the blueprint of the template when they start lying about the Pelicans because they don't talk about them unless they're struggling, unless there's a slow news cycle. So, but that eventually is going to change when the Pelicans start kicking some tail, and we're gonna start seeing that happen. So it's just what it is, man. We cook them people.
We're supposed to give up 5 picks. And what player we was attaching with these 5 picks?
That's what I wanted to get to, and I want you to chime in too. I want Lex to chime in.
Makes sense to this.
Because listen, all I'm saying is it might not be 5 picks for it, but the stuff circulating around Bridges.
With the Milwaukee Bucks picks because they don't look like they're gonna be worth shit.
But the Bridges thing, I don't know if I would go for Bridges. I like Bridges, but like we saying, and I really don't think there's nothing to this, but y'all chime in on this. If Bridges, if they're interested in Bridges and any sort of way of bringing him here, how would that work with BI? I don't think that works with BI. I don't think so. I'm thinking that if you're bringing in Bridges, that could mean BI is gone. That's what I'm thinking. Y'all share your thoughts in the chat as well. Go ahead, Lex.
BI Tree or Herb or a combination of two in one stays. How else do you pull a trade off? I don't see no other way, man. I mean, you give them a combination of what, JV and Herb, maybe.
Do they take that? JV and
Well,
Herb?
if he got 5 first-round picks, I would imagine.
Man,
Yeah.
we ain't giving no 5 first-round picks, bro.
What major player did they get for Kevin Durant? So you mean to tell me
we're gonna be like that?
I'm just saying, like, they got Bridges and Thomas for KD, right? So piece of what you got for KD, you flip piece of that into 5 more picks. I don't know, man. I think Mikal by itself, you doing that with BI and 5 picks, that don't sound like a fair exchange. So to me, it would have to be a combination of other guys, not including BI, if the 5 pick things were true.
What you think, Lex?
I mean, I think it would have to be BI, just for the mere fact that I think the Nets are going to want a starter. And not only that, I mean, obviously they consider Mikal Bridges, I mean, as a key piece. So if you are giving up a key piece, what do you think they want? A key piece. So I mean, and plus he's a starter. As far as the averages, shooting average, you know, he's right there with BI. But one thing that I was looking at is that I don't know if you all knew this, but over the weekend, the Nets made Nicholas Claxton available for trade. And before, when they did that, you know, you didn't hear anything. But I think because the Pels are looking for a shot blocking big.
You know what, Lex? You might be on to something.
Hey, let me finish. I think that is what makes getting Mikal and Nicholas Claxton, as much as I do like JV, just saying the scenario, like BI and then like if you're throwing in a few picks or a young player like Dyson Daniels, you know, that would sweeten up the deal.
That's too much, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, again, you're talking about JV, right? Everybody's been talking about, you know, that's been in the works and been the talk of the town. And so, you know, if you can get 2 key players, I mean, because again, with BI being up for that contract extension, just what he's doing now, it's not worth that contract. And that's gonna put the Pels back if they are to give him that contract extension, that would put the Pels back like by a decade. Like if they like it would almost be like a Solomon Hill if they decided to want to trade Brandon within that contract.
That's a little extreme. Solomon Hill.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, in comparison, as far as the size of the contract, you got to think about that. The size of that contract. I mean, think about like if you traded like Jaylen Brown somewhere, who's gonna want if you
BI's
even thought
contract
about
is
2
nowhere
trade
near
that
that
type of contract?
size. It's like 100-something million less than what Jaylen Brown's getting. Like, if you did sign him and you decided you wanted to move on, I think that contract is still easily movable. But I do like you mentioning Nick Claxton. And now that I'm thinking about it, when the Pels had there was no noise really about CJ. But you remember what the noise was? The noise was about Norman Powell. Norman Powell was playing for the Blazers. They had a lot of noise about us getting Norman Powell. And we wound up with CJ McCullough. What if you got all this Mikal Bridges noise, but the Pels are really over there trying to figure out a way to get Nicholas Claxton? Because they're always going to throw up smoke screens. But Nicholas Claxton for 20 to 25 million, like I'm looking up here, I like him, but I don't want him no more. If that's true. I don't think he's worth, well, I ain't going to say he's not worth that, maybe to a certain team, but for what we're trying to do, we can't afford that. Because the whole reason to get away from JV is so you can keep your core guys together. If you're going to keep B.I., Trey, Herb, Zion, everybody, Larry, you're trying to keep all these guys together. But
Well, hold on, DC. Let me jump in there, man. That's very interesting there because Jay Black's actually about, do we believe JV wants to re-sign around $20 million a year? If you look at some of the people the Pelicans were looking at that were serious about, like Jared from Cleveland, bro, his contract's $20 million a year. I think they wanted a younger rim protection guy. Then they cool with paying him $20 million a year. So that's
you got Fred Vincent. I guess they figured they could teach anybody.
JV's getting older.
Right. That's the thing. It's like JV's getting older. They're looking for a rim protecting big, and they're comfortable paying around this $20 million a year. So you see Nick Claxton expected to command this amount of money. Jared Allen already makes $20 million a year. So I mean, it kind of fits, so
they don't have to pay Trey this year either. I know a lot of people
right
trade extension, which I think it would make more sense, especially how up and down he's been, to try to extend him this year if you can. But they don't have to pay him this year. They don't have to do anything with BI this year. But obviously, if you decide you want to move on from BI, that definitely messes up a lot of your leverage with other teams to see you trying to trade him in the last year's contract. But man, I guess maybe you call me a dreamer. I ain't trading BI for nothing short of a superstar, man. Like trading him for Mikal Bridges, in my opinion, is a downgrade. But I understand that the dynamic of what Mikal does, I think it still works with the team, and we would be extremely successful. But he's not a better player, and to package him with other people and picks and all of that, man, we getting raped. If it was a straight up trade, I still wouldn't want to do it, but I would say, okay, I get it. But to have to trade him and add other stuff other than just filler for the salary, I get it. If we trade him and you get back Claxton, but then you pay him $20 million, I don't know, man. I don't know where that really puts us. And moving off from JV, I don't see how we get rid of JV and actually get better. The options that they got out there, it's like, okay, maybe Jared Allen, Nicholas Claxton. I like what he does as a rim protector. Love to have him on the team, not for 20, 25 million. But if you get rid of JV and you place him there, does that make us a better team? Really?
I don't know about the bridge. Go ahead, Lex.
No, I'm just saying
hard.
Claxton. I'd have moved on from Bridges. I don't think that's real.
I mean, it's really hard to say because the identity of the team is just, it's not clear. And we've talked about this before about, just the different things that this team has problems with. Because I mean, obviously, the problems are really maxed by when we win games. But when we lose, I mean, you can see them like a sore thumb. And I think that's the thing is like, because like we said, even with Willie Green and his coaching, you trade anybody here, it's like we still got a problem because he doesn't make, the proper adjustments and different things, and his rotations are still horrible. The identity is up and down still, which makes it hard to have a clear vision of, okay, well, who do we want to trade and how are we going to incorporate them in the lineup, or what rotations are we going to use? I just think there's so many things that, other things that makes it hard to determine what is that missing piece. I mean, I know we talk about having a point guard, but it's like, okay, well, who's that point guard? And then if we do get a point guard, who's to say that we're really going to use that point guard properly and not, really stick him in the corner? So, I mean, just think about it this way. Look how long it took the Pelicans to use JV the correct way. Because we weren't even using them for real.
Lex, you're right. And remember, I posed this question to the family members of like, are they using them the correct way so we can get his trade value up so we can move him out of here to pump his stats? Because it don't make any sense. Like a professional basketball coach and the professional staff around him of guys that were in the NBA and had multiple years of coaching experience should know how to utilize their players against other teams. And you would see some nights where Valanciunas, man, would have it going, and then they would just go away from him. And it was, like, what was the game? What was the Boston game? What the Raiders game was the Boston game. The Boston game.
That happens pretty often, Big Q.
Go ahead, DC. I'm sorry, I was talking over you. What you said?
No, I say some nights that happens pretty often, Big Q.
Yeah. Well, don't get Lex started on.
It's only been happening for about 2 years, and it continues to happen.
No, don't get Lex started on Willie. DC, what are you doing here, brother?
Well, I mean, it's not all Willie. I think some of that's on the players.
I'm just trying to speak facts, man. I mean,
hey,
everybody sees it. It's not just me. I mean, I know.
No, I see what you're saying. I agree with you. I'm saying like.
I mean, because it is a problem. I mean, it is. I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, it is. And I don't want to like be up here, just, oh yeah, Willie's great. He's going to take us far in the playoffs, and, he's doing great on his adjustments, on his rotations. He's doing perfect. You know what I'm saying?
You recorded that?
Here we go.
Every time, let's say something bad about Willie, play that back.
Oh yeah,
and just in case anyone didn't pick up, I was being sarcastic. Okay, I just want to. That's in the recording, right? Okay.
No, I'm gonna cut that part out of it. I'm gonna cut that part out of it.
Okay.
But this is the thing though. We you're right on Willie. Willie is man, wow. But yeah,
Willie won by 40 tonight, man. Give him a break, man.
But we've been doing that. Most of our wins have been blowout wins. We've only had one close game, and that was against the Spurs.
How many blowout wins did we have?
We're 1-6. Huh? You know what I'm saying? When it's 3 points or less, it's the game's determined by 3 points or less. DC, come on, man.
I remember when we had Solomon Hill in the starting lineup. Alvin Gentry coaching. I cannot sit up here and act like Willie is
not just Solomon Hill.
I mean, I understand we can improve. It's things that he doesn't do correctly at times, but I still have faith in him that he can change, or they can put the right people around him.
Are you ready for this, DC?
Oh shit!
I got some for you. So remember last season when Kyra didn't get no play, and then the play-in game came against OKC.
Kyra in Toronto, he still ain't getting no play.
And he finally played him, and everybody was like, "Okay, what? You haven't played him in weeks, and you're gonna put him in an important game like this."
The year before that, for me, it was Tony Snell, but he fixed it and put Trey Murphy out there finally. It's like, ooh. And we made it. And we made it to the playoffs, Lex. You know, if Zion wasn't hurt, probably would have been able to overtake the Suns.
Okay,
You know,
Jamal, what you talking about, man? What you talking about?
hey, I'm just saying, man. Don't pee in Willie's cornflakes. That's all he's saying.
Oh
Man,
wow!
man won by
Who's
40 tonight.
doing
We
that?
can't talk. We gotta make a rule, man. We can't talk bad about Willie when the Pelicans won by 40, 30, 25 points, stuff like that. We gotta
Yeah, that's right. Drown
we
them
gotta
out.
show some we gotta show some joy.
Drown them
Lex.
out.
Lex, where is your joy? Where is your compassion?
Oh goodness gracious!
We supposed to be in this together.
Look, you know what? I'll tell you where my concernfulness is. Okay.
She done created a whole nother banner. Concernfulness.
All right. Who is it?
Yeah, well, yeah, and tonight, but you know what? It's awesome though, man. We still have a lot to look at. But 29-21, the Pelicans are currently, man, 1 game off of 30, and they, you know, we jostling in between positions between the 5th spot to the 7th spot. So, you know, they're in there. But this is going to be a good matchup against the Clippers. And listen, I mean, after that tough January slate of games, they have to have learned something, man. They had that difficult stretch of games in January, man, to get them ready for February.
Not the most difficult, Big Q. I just want to correct. We had the toughest schedule in the whole league in January, man.
And that's what I'm saying, though, DC. It was a difficult stretch of games that ultimately they finished 8-7 on. That has to count for something, especially how it feels like a walk in the park for the month of February, bro. That was crazy, man, what they went through, and they were 8-7. Now they could have got the Boston matchup too, but in the end, they have to have learned something.
We got some traps in February. I wouldn't say walk in the park, but I guess
nothing like January. DC,
the strength of schedule together must be relatively easy, but we got back to back with the Pacers. You know, we do play the Heat. You know, you got the 76ers in there, the Hawks, who we can't seem to beat recently for some reason. You got the Cavaliers after the Hawks, and then you play the Clippers after that. Trailblazers, Nets, Magic, who's been a Achilles heel for us at times, and you end. Oh wait, I'm tripping. I'm going all the way into March.
I'm telling you, what are you doing? Yeah, all right, so anyway, listen, we're gonna get ready to leave, man. We're gonna let DC go ahead and study his script. All right, so anyway, shout out to DC Tide, man. He been doing his thing and he been playing the guitar all night.
Man.
DC been playing his guitar all night. He tired, man. He talking all kinds of crazy.
Stop lying, Q.
All right.
Turn the lights down low.
Ooh, real low. Say it again. And shut all the window curtains.
See that? Yeah, I know. That's why I tell him you need to stop singing and play his goddamn guitar. That's why I tell him, man.
Let me be off key if I want to be.
No, you can't be off key, DC.
It's his movie, man. It's his movie.
Man.
Tell me how to be, man.
We gotta let him do him. You know what I'm saying? We gotta let him do him.
Trying to make me a political prisoner again. What's wrong with you?
All right. All right, so anyway, we're going to get out on that. I appreciate all y'all for chiming in on this episode of the Pelican Postgame Report. Much love to the flock. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and by all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. Pelicans hammer, destroy, take apart the Toronto Raptors 138-100. We'll be back on Wednesday. That's right, Wednesdays the Pelicans have a much difficult matchup against them now Clippers. It's going to be a really, really tough and interesting game. It's gonna be fun.
Rastafari don't do the body boys, man. No.
It's not going to be fun if it's gonna be a blowout loss.
No body boys.
Je ne sais pas.
Oh my goodness.
It's all right, man. We're gonna stop right here and we're gonna get off. We're gonna get off right now. I got love for all my peoples up in here. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
All right, yo.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the